Hello and welcome to News Across Nigeria. I'm Olumide Macaulay. On today's program, former Minister of State for Defense, Senator Musili Obanikoro, returns 100 million naira to the Nigerian government. And the Oyo State government partners Chinese conglomerates to industrialize the state, designates free trade zones. And academics prescribe educational research as solutions to current economic slowdown. We begin in the north-central region of the country, in Abuja, where the President, Muhammadu Buhari, has revealed that he nearly absconded when he saw there was no money to work for the Nigerian people after winning the 2015 elections. President Buhari is blaming the People's Democratic Party for perpetuating poverty in Nigeria for 16 years. He was addressing the course 38 participants of the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies who presented their course work to him in the presidential villa today. The president also promised to bring Nigerians out of recession and make the country stronger than he met it.
For the 16 years and 8 consecutive governments, it was the other party. And you know the unprecedented revenue realized. The average production, which can be verified, was 2.1 million barrels a day, 1999 to 2014. The average cost of each Nigerian barrel of oil was $100 per barrel. When we came, by some fabulous coincidence, it dived to less than $30 per barrel, and is now oscillating between 40 and 50. Actually, I felt right to abscond, because 27 out of the 36 states of Nigeria cannot pay salaries. And we know the lower income group, they depend on the salaries to pay rent and to manage their families. I asked, any savings? I was told there was no saving. What have you done on agriculture? Power, rail, roads? Nothing. You know it more than I do because you move. After the election, I don't move anymore. But we are still moving around. How many of the trunk A roads from A to B are still good enough?
Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari, also in the FCT, where reports on the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission say a former Minister of State for Defense, Senator Musili Obanikoro, has returned 100 million naira to the Nigerian government. The spokesperson of the anti-graft agency, Wilson Owajare, today confirmed the payments to Channels Television. He says the EFCC chairman, Ibrahim Magu, rejected the initial offer and demanded that the former minister sign an undertaking to pay back 600 million naira within a stipulated time. This the former minister rejected, claiming he had no means of raising such an amount. In the meantime, the EFCC have begun the verification of payments as interrogations continue. Mr. Obanikoro was remanded in custody after turning himself in to the anti-graft agency on October the 17th after he was accused of accepting more than 2 billion naira from the embattled former National Security Advisor Sambo Dasuki. And now to the request for a loan from the federal government for approval for the loan external borrowing plan of the federal government through the National Assembly. More revelations are emerging on why the Senate rejected the president's request for the $30 billion borrowing plan. The chairman, Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullah, today criticized some aides of President Muhammadu Buhari over the handling of the letter the executive sent to the National Assembly for the external borrowing. According to Senator Sabi Abdullah, these aides of the president are deliberately frustrating the relationship between the executive and the legislature. He, however, said the Senate is prepared to approve the president's plan as soon as a letter containing it the borrowing plan, that is sent to the National Assembly.
If you look at the letter from Mr. President, it said attached herewith is the borrowing plan. And I will tell you it was not attached. But this is the reality, unfortunately, and I think it calls to mind that yes, it's time for us to reappraise certain positions that have been given to certain people. If people are not competent, I think they should just step aside and allow the president who has the will and the mind. It's not the duty of Mr. President to see that the letter is attached. It's somebody's duty. What is the Chief of Staff doing? What is all the Secretary to the Government of the Federation? What are they doing? So these are the fundamental issues. And we have said it before. We have said it before that certain things are done to set Mr. President against the legislature. And I think this is a classical example of how these things are done to set us up. Because what we simply did is saying that in doing our job, we are not giving enough information to do our job. And we all know, if you go to the bank to take a loan, is it possible you write a letter to the bank manager and you will not attach any plan that he can look at to see whether when he gives you this money, actually this money will be able to serve the purpose and that you'll be able to return that money. So I think these are fundamental issues. And like I said, it's quite unfortunate, but as it is, if all of these issues are addressed and brought back, the Senate is more than desirous to see that something positive comes out of it.
Now to party politics. The All Progressives Congress governors have expressed concern over the bickering and displeasure amongst its members across the country. Chairman of the APC Governors Forum and Governor of Imo State, Mr. Rochas Okorocha, admitted that all is not well with the APC, but promised a restructuring that will cure the party of all its ills. Governor Okorocha was speaking after a meeting with the National Working Committee at its secretariat in Abuja. He also met with the leadership of both chambers of the National Assembly on the same issue.
After months of accusations and denials regarding wranglings within the ruling All Progressive Party, APC, it is now official that there are problems within the party. These appear to be what has led to this meeting.
We will have deliberations.
The chairman of the APC Governors Forum met with members of the National Working Committee of the party behind closed doors.
Thank you very much, the press.
After which he explains the reason for the meeting.
The party will be restructured for purpose of making it stronger and to move forward as a people and as a party. Again, very important. I came to commend the members of the National Working Committee for their understanding, their patience, and the sacrifice they made, especially during the time of our election. Mr. President, Commander-in-Chief, President Muhammad Buhari, who is the leader of our party, will be addressing the party leadership very soon.
Governor Okorocha was also at the National Assembly, where he met with the Senate President Bukola Saraki and other APC senators. The next meeting was with the Speaker and members of the House of Representatives. He says the meetings have been encouraging.
The meetings I've had with the Honorable Speaker and the leadership of this gives me a bit of relief that there's still light at the dark end of the tunnel. It is true that our nation is going through difficult times, but with unity of purpose, we shall overcome.
Governor Okorocha says the party cannot afford to let Nigerians down, and every member of the party must work to ensure that the campaign promises made to Nigerians are fulfilled. Ibrahim Adra, Channels Television News.